Hello, everyone, and welcome to How the Blank, presented by What the Blank. And today is How the Halloween. In today's news, we bring you Braxton Brewster with some historical knowledge.
I've been looking at a lot of Broadway news this week just because I love seeing Broadway. And besides, like, all the new musicals that just went up in April and June, right? April to June is when all the new Broadway stuff for the year starts up. Um, and they've actually been doing a lot more uh, stuff this year with actually representing musicals as part of history. So now they just put um, original props from the musical Hair um, in the Smithsonian. And now what they're going to try to do is put in more and more um, different stuff from Broadway in the Smithsonian to help show how the culture was throughout each year. And so they'll be as part of their sections. So I think that's so cool how entertainment is getting more of the spotlight um, at the like in their new phase rather than 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later, right? It's more within the last like 5 to 6 years of them being popular um, that they're being shown off, and I think it's really cool that Broadway's getting more of a reputation on the facts of history.
Hmm.
I think it's because the Smithsonian knows that all the technology is outdated so quickly that it's ancient by the time they put it in there, so they buy it while it's cheap.
Seriously. But like I think it's really interesting that like even like Rhett and Link um is in the Smithsonian now, and like Taylor Swift has something in the Smithsonian. Like there's so many people that like artists now that have stuff in the Smithsonian that didn't happen back in the 80s and and the 90s and all this, but now they're getting all this representation of in the Smithsonian, which I think is really cool.
Jackson, what do you have to drop the mic on some What the Blank news?
So here's kind of what we got going on today with what the news. We have a newsletter actually now that you guys can sign up to through our website to keep up to date with everything for all of our stuff. And music studio is also back open, so production and all music related things are also now ready to go. If you want to start following along with everything, make sure to go to our social medias and our website, or just email us at whattheblankentertainment at gmail.com. We're also doing logos and graphics for anybody who needs them, like small businesses and such like that. But yeah, as of right now, we're definitely working on growing the base a little bit and just getting people set up with what they need. So that's what I've got for right now.
We're also working on getting some more filming done for our some of our online projects. So stay tuned for those. That's a little hint for you guys.
So, how the Halloween, where did this crazy concept of Halloween even come from, and how has it degraded over time?
Yeah, so
It degraded fast.
so there's two like main sources from Halloween, right? There's All Hallows Eve, which was originally a religious holiday that would be the beginning of the darkest time of year, where they would put out different things like jack-o'-lanterns and other decorations to scare away the spirits so that they would not um, pretty much haunt their house or take over the people in the town. Pretty much it was a way that they ward off spirits and were able to protect their town. The other main resource is also De las oh my gosh, this muerte. Pretty much the Day of the Dead, from Spanish culture, where they celebrate the spirits moving into the physical realm for 3 nights of the year to spend time with their family, and then they go back to the land of the remember. So
Interesting.
those were the two main
It's just like a budget-friendly Thanksgiving.
Sounds about right.
Because then you don't have to feed everyone; they just show up.
Yeah, well, you have to feed them, like, because you put food at their grave and it just goes to waste, like it just goes bad. Like, well,
I think that's all the stray cats.
like they'll actually eat it with their family, right? And they're like offerings to their family. So, and that's kind of where it kind of combined in the United States, right? Because we got the colonial from England and stuff, and the sorry.
Homie's having a hard time talking.
It's the change of seasons, man. It's like stepping me up, and it sucks. But that colonial fear, right, and dressing up as those scary things to ward them away, plus the giving of treats to help the spirits, right? It kind of combined together, and that's where we got trick-or-treating from, and dressing up, and all the things. And it's actually translated to a lot of media, right? Like every candy company has their own like Halloween brand. They have their own Halloween style of their candy during the haunt season, right? During Halloween season, and then during Halloween season, we also have other companies that come out of the thing that we talked about last week with the haunts, right? We have haunts that come out, and then we also have musicians that make spooky beats and all the other fun stuff.
I mean, alongside with the music thing, it's actually kind of interesting because all of the spooky music and stuff like that kind of started relatively recent in history. Like this all kind of started up with, especially in the 50s and 60s when doo-wop music was a pretty big deal. So like, for example, you guys remember Monster Mash, right? Like that. Yeah, exactly. It's a classic. And there's a reason why it's a classic, because it was one of the first actual Halloween themed songs, more catered towards Halloween style, right? So it was one of those things, and it kind of took off. But it's kind of interesting because Halloween music is vaguely defined as ambitious or ambiguous, but is most commonly considered to include any song that increases in popularity seasonally around 2 weeks before Halloween. These songs typically include themes of the supernatural, fright, and folklore, and may be intended to arouse fear in listeners. Halloween music has also been associated with goth music. I actually didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. But it's kind of weird because Halloween's music is like the precursor of all the Halloween music is basically blues music, because it was nicknamed the devil's music. Do you guys remember the meeting the devil at the crossroads? That story? Yeah, it started out with that kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting when you dive into it, and then when all the movies started up back like in the 70s and 80s, when horror movies started becoming a thing, and they started getting like more and more, interesting and more deep and scarier and the music started changing a lot more in the 70s and 80s. That's when all the music started changing to more like catering towards just Halloween theme. And then Michael Jackson put out Thriller. And then that really took off all the Halloween themed songs because now it became a real entertainment source with Halloween music. It's kind of interesting how that happens, but it's cool.
Dude, I always wondered how the song Super Freak was really popular like when we were really little and it got associated with Halloween. And now looking back at that, I'm like, how did that happen? Because it's really kind of a perverted song. And it has nothing to do with Halloween. So how does that get associated with Halloween?
That's how culture works. It's weird how society does that to things.
And
it's weird.
And it just kind of reminds me of just like once you put it in like a movie, because I think Super Freak was in a movie that was like had like a scary element, and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what movie it was, but that's what I think gave it its oh hey, it's a scary movie thing, right? It's also like I Put a Spell on You. Once they put that in Disney, in Hocus Pocus, like it is now just like this Halloween thing, and they've adapted that to that movie.
You know what, dude? I think it has to do with the movie Super Freak, 2007. People at a party. I don't know. I mean, this is from IMDb. Let me see if this is an actual movie or not, dude. I don't know, but it might just be a music video. But it says people at a party inspired by the sexually compelling ghost of singer Rick James engage in a number of physical encounters. I don't think it's a real movie, dude. There's no way that's an actual movie, right? Director Shine Louise Houston. I mean, dude, there's cast members in here too.
Well, I remember like when I was like a kid, like really, really young, not even knowing what the song meant. Which it was like way before 2007. Like I was slightly intelligent by 2007.
Wait a minute, hold on, dude. Never mind. I think this
music.
I think looking at pornos.
Dude, yeah, I think that's exactly what that's supposed to be. I think that's supposed to be a POR. Oh yeah, it's a adult film. That's what that was. So that's okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, here we go. So the song "Super Freak" is from the movie Little Miss Sunshine.
That's a scary movie.
I don't know,
but
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Interesting. But see, and I also think the popularity of like music related to Halloween was also with like Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know, like it added so much more music to like a scary element, right? And I feel like it's kept adding and adding it. Anytime there's a new like Halloween themed movie, there always has to be like a song related. And I think it's really interesting how that happens.
You know what? I think I just found out why that song is in Little Miss Sunshine. So I don't think I've ever actually seen this movie before. But yeah, so in Little Miss Sunshine, it basically is, yeah. So let's see. So I think it's supposed to be about beauty pageants for young girls, and it's basically like a critique of the pageant industry, sexualization and objectification of young girls. So if you think about it, Super Freak,
yeah,
you know, yeah. So that's kind of weird that they would do that, but I don't understand how it would turn into more of like a horror theme. That doesn't really add up to me.
You're one of the kids horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know, like I think it's weird how there's certain songs that are it's like this is definitely a Christmas song, but it's Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart. That is not a Christmas song, right?
It's only a Christmas song because it says Christmas in
The
there.
only reason it's a Christmas song is because it like said Christmas, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a heartbreak song, but it has the theme of Christmas, so people just took it and ran with it as a Christmas
Yeah,
song. It's kind of funny, but
and I
It's kind of like is Nightmare Before Christmas and Gremlins more Halloween or more Christmas?
oh yeah, there you go. That's a very interesting point because dude, I've always loved Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'd always watch it on Halloween
mhm.
and Christmas. It's just one of those things that you
Yeah.
can watch for both because it has both
And
elements in there.
usually I
Kind of
watch
cool.
it like I start watching it like end of summer, right? And then I'll watch it a little bit more at like Halloween time, and then I'll like
Mm.
kind of forget it around Thanksgiving because I'm more focused on like other stuff, eating, eating especially. And like once Christmas comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Like I love this movie, right? And I think it's really interesting um how like a lot of amusement parks have a scary like have a haunted house, right? Have a haunted ride. Like Disney has Haunted Mansion, right?
Hmm.
Universal Studio,
Not anymore, actually. They changed it.
it's still Haunted Mansion.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, they still have the Haunted Mansion. Sorry, I was talking
Or
about the
yeah.
Tower of Terror. Yeah, I was
No, I'm
thinking about
like,
Tower of
if
Terror.
they changed Haunted Mansion, I think Walt Disney himself were
I would
in
be so
his
sad.
grave.
Yeah, I would be so
His
sad, dude.
ice
I love
box.
that ride.
Um,
Anyway, continue.
and then, like, here in Utah, Lagoon has two haunted rides. They have Dracula's Castle and the Terror Ride. And then a lot of just smaller little theme parks, like in the Midwest that I've gone to, always have this like Mr. Bones or like the skeleton buggy, right? Like I've seen a bunch of those, and I think it's so interesting how they have those so that they can like be like, "Ooh, come here during Halloween," right? Even though we have this
Hmm.
all year round, and I think it's for them to like get people wanting that nostalgia and that love of the scare in, um, from Halloween, right? I feel like Halloween always has a grip on us, whether it is in Christmas, in Valentine's Day, in like all these different times, because you want it just a little bit outside of the season, but then you want all of it during the season.
You know, it's really cool. When I used to live in Missouri, near Kansas City, Brandon, you probably remember this place, but Worlds of Fun. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, dude, that was a fun place, and they always have this really cool. So Worlds of Fun, by the way, for people who don't know about it, it's a really cool amusement park that has one of the largest roller coasters in America. I'm not gonna say the largest, but it's called the Mamba. But anyway, so with Worlds of Fun, every year they do this thing called the Haunt, right? And it's literally just they turn the entire park into a haunted theme park. It's really cool. They have actors that are walking around in character, and they have all these different characters that are walking around scaring people out of nowhere. It's kind of fun because like I remember one time I was on a date a long time ago when I was in high school, and it was during the haunted season, and this one actor, like, they had skates on. It was really cool. Like, they were wearing roller skates, and this one actor came rolling up like out of nowhere, like from behind like these bushes or something like that. I don't know where he came from, but he came rolling up and scared the crap out of us because he slid, and he had these like metal plates or something like that on the bottom of his skates, like on the side of his shoe. So when he would slide, it made this like really loud, like metallic noise. It scared the crap out of me. But yeah, they always had like big haunted houses out there at Worlds of Fun. It was a fun time, dude. I miss that place, but it was good. It was a fun time.
One place I
Dude.
want to go to so bad is Universal Studios during Halloween because they
Oh.
go freaking ham. Like they turn everything Halloween. You think like Disney is like changes everything for Halloween. No, like Universal, they change everything. Everything just covered in cobwebs, and it's awesome. It's so cool. And they have these like scary haunted creatures. They call them their creature features that come and just try to scare you throughout the whole month of October. It's awesome.
That's cool.
When did people start like actually dressing up and stuff for Halloween, and like why? And like why has the costumes and the scariness of it degraded so much?
Dude, I remember
Like
reading
OG
something about
costumes when
that.
people were so poor. Like when
I
people were
remember,
so poor, they had to make their own out of bags and stuff, and that's like twice as scary as like the best effect costumes now.
let me see if I can find something on
So
that.
like
So,
so we know
Halloween.
like kind of the origins of dressing up is back in like Salem area and all of that. They would dress up to ward away a lot of the stuff, and then once it got more popular to like mixed cultures, right? That's when it started, and a lot of clothing companies and actually toy companies made these masks, right? Because they had this extra plastic left over from their toys, and that's what they would make those masks from. And so those like really thin, cheap plastic masks, right? That was so popular in the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? And
I mean, even back before then, like, have you guys seen some of those like family pictures of like when like cameras were black and white or had the brown tint and people were dressing up in Halloween and they had like stuff that they just
yeah,
threw from like the farm shed on, and it
Mhm.
was like how creepy those are. Like
Yeah, some of them had really
that
creepy.
was peak. That was the absolute peak scariness for Halloween.
Yeah, because they were terrifying costumes, some of them, and some of them just made these like random masks out of something. And oh, do you guys remember ever seeing those pictures of those massive masks
yeah,
that people would wear
the
back in the 30s and 20s? Let me find these things, dude. Stuff like this, stuff like this. Oh, you can't see it, dang phone, but like this.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. And now it's not even the same. Or even where's this one at? I just saw. Oh, these ones
oh
right
yeah,
here.
the baby faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those ones were really popular
So
too for a
creepy.
while. You know what? Actually, I just had a little bit more history pulled up on when things were starting out. So I mean, this is just from Wikipedia. So just bear with me here. You know, it could be wrong. But basically, an early reference to wearing costumes on Halloween comes from Scotland in 1585. There are many references to the custom during the 18th and 19th centuries
The
of the, how do you say this, the
Celtic.
Celtic or Celtic countries? Celtic, okay, because I've heard it said both ways. I don't know why. But yeah, from the Celtic countries of Scotland, Ireland, Man, and Wales. It has been suggested that the custom comes from the Celtic festivals of Samhain and Callan Gaef. I don't know how to say that.
My name is Jeff.
Or the practice of souling from the or during the Christian observance of All Hallow Tide. But yeah, basically just like there's references from back then. There's even references stating that Halloween dates back to around 2000 years. The costumes, which we are now familiar with, have only existed for the past 100 years or so. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
That's like if you're really healthy, that's only like one generation. That's like one person ago
That's literally one
that
person.
Halloween
yeah,
that has like it's been a thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
and it's because like a lot of it is marketing. Like it was originally like marketing to get a lot of people to come out, and I think that's so interesting to see, right? And a lot of the times, like now, if you look at it, all the costumes are to promote the movies that are happening this year or the big franchises, right? Like you're gonna see so many Darth Vaders and Stormtroopers and like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse.
Mhm.
Like I was in,
And like Spirit
yeah,
always has like a character of the year too.
yeah.
Now that's being
I went to
popular.
like
Oh yeah.
Costco today, and they had not today, yesterday, and they had off-brand um like costumes at Costco of stuff. Like they had this like wolf pirate thing, and I was like, what the heck are these? Like they were just this like weird mashup of things that I'm like, what is going on? Why is Halloween gone weird?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people now just kind of throw like anything that they possibly can. I remember when I was younger and I was going out for Halloween or anything like that. I never really planned out any costumes or anything. I just kind of threw together random stuff that I had. Like that's just kind of what I did. I mean, there's a lot of people that do that, but you know, it's kind of funny.
Dude, this one year I had to take my cousin out trick or treating, and it was the last year I went trick or treating because I was really too old for it at this point, and I didn't have a costume because I was just like thrown into it last minute because her parents just wanted to get drunk instead of going out and actually spending time with their kid.
Yay!
You know, typical Midwesterners. And so I had no costume. So what I did is I took 2 bags of Purina dog food, the big gallon bags, and I stapled them together and I went as dog food.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Best,
Brandon the
best
dog food.
and worst Halloween costume all at one time.
That's crazy.
And now, like a lot of the thing is, instead of like focusing on being scary, it's focusing on being relevant, right? Oh, are you dressing up as your favorite movie this year? Are you dressing up as your favorite character or your favorite character from a book or a favorite character from a movie, right? It's like adapted to this, like, oh, are you enough? Are you doing as good as everyone else around you? And it's kind of become this like competition instead of like actually celebrating the season, um, which I think is really interesting, and it's kind of sad that it's turned into this. Bring back scarier costumes.
Please.
Yeah. It brings the clowns
Yeah,
back.
the 2016 clowns. Oh, really quick before we end, do you remember when there were the gag costumes that happened back in like 2012 to like 2018, where it's like chicken cordon bleu, like right? They would have like a chicken and an extension cord on them, and they'd be wearing a blue shirt. Do you remember those like pun costumes?
Not really. I mean, I remember. I mean,
No.
I know that people still do stuff kind of like that, but I've not seen it to that
Mhm.
extent for a
It's
long
really
time.
popular when I was going to school,
Yeah.
especially in high school. But
Maybe. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we were just a bunch of nerds.
Chicken cordon bleu nerds.
Honestly, those are my kind of nerds. I love chicken cordon bleu.
um,
Braxton's like, shut up, you two. He's like, I'm trying to talk.
holiday, gosh,
Can't hear anything he's
you
saying.
can't hear anything.
Gosh.
It reminds me of the meme that's really popular right now with the strawberry. Oh, look, a strawberry.
Strawberry. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded
I
like.
am a strawberry. All right. Well, Can you hear me better now?
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, we can hear you.
Thanks for watching this. How the Halloween.
On Halloween. If you want to check us out, go to our social medias. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. If you want to see all the new updates, we've already said this before in the news updates, but go to our website at whattheblank.org. And if you want to, see all the new things that we're doing and possibly work with us, you're more than welcome to sign up to our newsletter for any new updates and anything else in the future.
Yeah. And if you want custom logos, custom music, and custom videos, please contact us at whattheblankentertainment@gmail.com. And we will see you guys next week. Please hit that bell
Bye.
and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.